Slice off a piece here. Look at that right there. Doesn't that look good? Whitetail. Oh man, that is so good. I want to show you what I'm getting ready to make for lunch. Last night, my wife and I had some pan-fried deer steaks. Little tiny deer steaks we cut up, dusted them in flour, threw them in the skillet, fried them up. Kids and I, the wife and I, we just ate them up. We love it. I just was dreaming about eating deer meat for lunch today. Kids are at school, wife is at work, and check this out. That right there, folks, is a whitetail backstrap. So I'm gonna grill this guy up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it on the grill, and while it's grilling, I'm gonna make an onion gravy. So I've got about half a cup of onion. This little cup is right here, flour. Half a cup of water, salt, pepper, some garlic powder. I'm gonna put that as a rub on my steak here. And then I've been saving, I know it's not Famous Dave's Pickle Spears, but this is bacon grease. My wife and I, we eat on Sunday afternoons, we always eat BLTs, and we always save the bacon grease. And I'm gonna put a little bacon grease in the skillet, and that's what I'm gonna make my gravy with. And then I'm gonna rub some of this Cabela's garlic butter and herb on the steak. Okay, so I've dusted my steak here with some garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and I'm going to throw that on the grill. Then I'm going to slather it with some of this garlic butter and herb from Cabela's. And in the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm going to take all the rest of these items and put them in the skillet, make the gravy. Here goes my steak. Not going to want to cook this for too long because it doesn't have a lot of fat in it, so it will cook pretty quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this turned on. Give me a little bit of this bacon grease. You can see, I keep it in the fridge. You can already see, it's already starting to melt in there. Okay, now I'm going to put in my onions. I'm going to let these guys cook and caramelize for a little bit. And then once I get that kind of where I want it, I'll mix the flour into the water, and then I'll pour that in so it doesn't make a lot of clumps. I will say, folks, whenever you're stirring on your pan, use a wood spoon. A wood spoon doesn't scratch the surface of your pots and your pans, and it will prolong the life of your cooking utensils. My wife, she's a big fan of the Pioneer Woman product, so I definitely don't want to scratch that up. So make sure, wood spoon. Also, when you're boiling things, you can actually put a wood spoon just like that on top of your pan, and the water won't boil over. I guess the wood is cool or something, so as the water rises, it touches the spoon, it doesn't spill over. A little life hack right there that you could use when boiling anything. Okay, so I just put my flour in this water, and a quick way that I stir is I'll go like this. That's, an easy way to mix it up. It doesn't splash a whole lot. Gets it nice and dissolved in there. And then you'll just pour this into the skillet. My onions are starting to caramelize. They're turning brown. You could let them go as long as you want, but I'm going to go ahead and pour this water in. Let this start to cook down for my gravy. And then once you pour this in, gravy can burn. Gravy can burn pretty fast. So you're going to want to keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Okay, so once that comes to like a little boil, you can already see that it's wanting to clump up already. So I'll turn the heat down a little bit. You will want to add a little salt to flavor on your gravy. Sometimes I can't see how much salt is coming out. So you'll want to salt. I mean, you can do it. You can taste your gravy throughout as you're mixing up. I'm actually using this now to stir it. So you'll just want to keep stirring your gravy. You don't want it to clump up. You don't want it to burn. I did actually just add about a quarter of a cup of water in this because it was trying to clump up a little bit on me. So, all right, I'm gonna go turn my steak. Okay, I'm gonna turn the steak over. Alrighty, getting there. Put a little bit of this on here. Kind of spread that throughout. I'm gonna let that cook for about 2 minutes on there, and then I'll flip it, and then I'll put another spread on there. Okay, you see my gravy is starting to boil here. It's popping a little bit. All those flavors are coming together. The onion in there really brings the flavor out. Adding a little bit of onion into the grease, bringing it to a caramelization, and then go ahead and put in your flour, your water, your beef stock, whatever you're going to be using as your, in there with your gravy. So you'll just want to turn this until you like the flavor of your gravy. Guys, I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of this garlic powder in here. Sprinkle a little bit of this guy and just dust it a little bit, not too much. I'm a big fan of garlic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip this back strap over. I'm going to put a little bit more of this, just baste it a little bit with this garlic spread here. Not too heavy, not too light though. I want to give it a little bit of that garlic kick. Okay, I'm going to let this cook for about 2 more minutes and I think we'll be done with the steak. Well, I took my gravy off and it's cooling down. I got about a minute left over there on my steak. I did flip it over. I did walk out there and flipped it over so that garlic butter and herb sauce from Cabela's could caramelize on the bottom. So both sides gets a caramelization. Guys, when you're done cooking, clean up after your mess. Your wife, she doesn't want to come home and she doesn't want to see your aftermath of a messy kitchen. She's working hard. She's doing enough already as it is. So do her a favor. Clean up after yourselves. Okay, so let's cut into this guy and take a look at it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to try this. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut half. I'm going to cut this in half because I want to eat half of it with the gravy on there, and the other half I just want to eat it as it is. Okay, with this gravy on here, I'm actually going to put a little bit here on the side that's a small portion because that garlic herb and butter, it tasted so good. So, all right, check that out. That's going to be my lunch right there. Okay, once again, here it is. That nice whitetail backstrap, cooked medium rare. Here's the thing about eating wild game. When you guys go to a grocery store and you buy your meat, chicken, fish, pork, beef, whatever it is, there could be all kind of stuff in that food. I can tell you what though, this whitetail shot here in western Iowa, it's about as healthy as it can get. There's no man-made or there's no preservatives added in this meat. It came right out of nature's grocery store. It's pure and it's delicious. And I would suggest anybody to go out and try to get into eating wild game. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a bite. Slice off a piece here. Look at that right there. Doesn't that look good? Whitetail. Oh man, that is so good. That is so good. And that is good for you too. Wild game, whitetail. There's probably no other animal better than a whitetail on this planet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you can drop me some ideas or some hints, recipes. I'll tell you what, who I've been watching. There is a YouTuber out there. His name is Robert Arrington, and he has a channel called Deer Meat for Dinner. Check his channel out. He's got about 500,000 subscribers. If you like my channel, click like, subscribe to it. But definitely go check out Robert Arrington. He has got some amazing videos of preparing wild game or preparing fish, and you can do it right here in your home. Really neat stuff. So have a good one. Get out there and enjoy the outdoors.